In the little town of Riverbend, where barns leaned in the wind and every front porch had a rocking chair, the world moved slow, except for Eli. Eli was 8 years old, with sunburned cheeks, scruffy hair, and a soul wide open to wonder. His shoes were usually untied, and his thoughts were usually somewhere in the clouds. He didn't have toys like the other kids, but he had something better: his red kite. It was homemade, patched together from an old cotton sheet, some crooked willow sticks, and a ball of string his grandfather gave him. It creaked in the wind and wobbled in flight, but Eli loved it like a best friend. Painted across its wings in shaky brushstrokes were two words that Grandpa helped him write: Faith flies. And to Eli, it didn't just fly, it prayed, it trusted, it worshiped. And every evening, just before supper, Eli would race up the hill behind the chapel. The townsfolk called it Heaven's Knoll, because when you stood there, the sky wrapped around you like a hug. From the top, the chapel bell rang out across the fields, and you could hear the soft hum of crickets rising like a song of praise. Eli's grandfather would sit nearby on a carved cedar bench, Bible in hand, watching the boy run back and forth, coaxing his kite into the wind like a shepherd leading sheep. One evening, with the sun dipping below the grain silos, Eli turned and asked, "Grandpa, how do we know God's really there?" Grandpa pointed to the sky. "You see the wind?" "No." "But your kite moves, doesn't it?" "Yeah." "That's how we know. We may not see him, but when faith is real, it moves things." Eli's eyes widened. "Even me?" Grandpa smiled. "Especially you." One Saturday in early spring, the wind howled wild, sharp and full of energy, the kind of wind that felt like God was breathing over the town. Eli raced up the hill, his red kite tucked under his arm like a sacred scroll. He unraveled the string, said a quiet prayer, and launched it into the sky. The kite caught the wind instantly. It soared, it danced, it sang across the clouds. People below pointed and smiled. Some clapped. The old church bell rang, though no one pulled the rope. But then, snap, the twine gave way. The string fell limp in Eli's hands as the kite spun, dipped, then surged upward again, free and untethered. He chased it, heart pounding, lungs burning, feet slapping the earth, but it was gone, disappeared into the endless sky. That night, Eli didn't eat. He sat on the front steps barefoot, clutching the broken string like it still meant something. "Why, God?" he whispered. "Why'd you take it? I made it with love. I flew it for you." Grandpa sat beside him, gently placing the Bible in Eli's lap. "You think he took it from you, but maybe, just maybe, he took it further than you could." Eli looked up, tears streaking down dusty cheeks. But I lost it. Grandpa looked into the stars. No, son, you gave it, and now it's flying where only God's wind can take it. Weeks passed. Eli prayed more, talked less. His hand still carried the memory of holding the string. Then, one Sunday after service, as people shared pie and hymns under the cottonwood trees, a stranger walked up holding a bundle. He was a farmer from over the ridge, boots caked in mud, holding something wrapped in burlap. "Found this caught in the fence behind my orchard," he said. "Thought it might mean something to someone." He unwrapped it slowly. There it was, weathered, stitched by storms, its frame slightly bent, but unmistakably, "Faith flies." Eli burst into tears. The whole church grew quiet. Even the bell above the chapel let out a single chime. Grandpa knelt and whispered, "It didn't just come back. It came back after seeing places you never could. That's what happens when God holds what we release." That night, Eli climbed heaven's knoll again. He tied the kite with a fresh string, but didn't grip it so tightly this time. The wind caught it and lifted it high. But this time, Eli whispered, "Lord, if you want to take it again, take it further. Fly my faith higher. I trust you with the string." And as the kite soared into the evening glow, a warmth wrapped around Eli, not from the wind, but from the presence he now knew was always there. So, God doesn't take what we let go. He carries it. He multiplies it. He flies it farther than we ever dreamed. Unless a seed falls to the ground and dies, it remains alone. John 12, verse 24. They who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. Isaiah 40, verse 31. God bless you, my friends.